What does this vodka and gin have to do with saving lives? I'm Mac.
And I'm Chris.
And today we'll be exploring this vodka and gin from Nanbu Bijin with the most amazing origin story.
Nanbu Bijin is located in Ninohe in Iwate Prefecture in the Tohoku region of Japan. Its history goes back to 1902.
The fifth generation head of the brewery is Kosuke Kuji, and this man is a legend in the Japanese sake world. His sake is known for its fruity aromas, soft mouthfeel, and diverse range of flavor profiles.
Exactly why did he start making vodka and gin? Who better to tell us than the man himself?
コロナの流行によってこのクラフトジンとクラフトウォッカをスタートさせました。この日本から世界から何が消えてなくなったかというと、手を消毒する消毒アルコール。これで困ったのは医療関係の皆さん、そして高齢者の皆さん、そして最も困ったのは医療ケア児。そういう子どもたちが岩手県だけで200人もいるんです。この医療ケア児たちがここを切開したりなんかしてるから全て消毒をしなきゃいけないんですね。その消毒のアルコールがなくなった。それで困って泣いて絶望の淵にいた子たちのために我々は消毒アルコールをコロナの初期のうちに作りました。
But Chris, sake breweries can't just start pumping out sanitizer, right?
That's correct. They need a different license, and Kuji-san had to lobby the authorities to get a special dispensation granted so he could make that concentrated alcohol needed for sanitizer. And in May 2020, they released their first batch.
その医療ケア児のご家族から何て言われたか。命を救ってくれてありがとう。僕は美味しくてありがとう。いいお酒作ってくれてありがとうっていうのは何万回も聞いてるわけです。命を救ってくれてありがとうっていうありがとうは人生で初めてもらいました。彼らにとって一番困ることはまた同じような状況で消毒アルコールが世の中からなくなってしまうこと。これが一番困るわけで、じゃあその消毒アルコール地産地消しましょうと。医療ケア児の子どもたち200人のために僕がずっとそれを作り続けますということを宣言しました。
To keep making sanitizer long term, Kuji knew that he would need a spirits license, especially given the 100 million yen investment that would be required to get the distilling equipment he needed. Now, luckily, he managed to get a government subsidy for about 2/3 of this amount, contingent on him using the money to make rice-based products for export.
This also helped solve another problem that Kuji had, an excess of contract farmed rice that he was sitting on due to the pandemic.
私たちは酒米に聞いてみたんです。おい酒米、お前どうしたいって聞いたら、酒米はこう言ったんですね。おら、酒になりてー。そうか、酒米は酒になって本望だ。だったら酒にしようじゃないかということだから、日本酒にするには余ってしまうからできない。そこで考えたのがジンやウォッカのベースのアルコール。
Only Kuji-san could anthropomorphize his sake rice like that.
As with everything Nanbu Bijin does, this once again gave Kuji the opportunity to put his native Iwate Prefecture on the map. Kuji decided to make the gin and vodka using sake which was made using Ginotome, Iwate Prefecture's star sake rice.
The gin is made with joboji urushi bark as a botanical, along with, of course, juniper. About 70% of Japan's lacquer is produced in Iwate Prefecture. It's a huge part of the prefecture's identity.
Vodka is one of the most neutral spirits there is. So how do you get it to express any terroir? Well, this vodka is filtered using shirakaba, white birch ash, which comes from the Hiraniwa Kogen Nature Reserve in nearby Kuji City. And guess what? Iwate Prefecture is the #1 producer of ash in Japan.
So that brings us to these. They're released in mid-September 2021. They have an ABV of 40%, and they're made at Nanbu Bijin's second larger factory.
They were actually preceded by limited edition 60% versions on the 18th of August 2021. 2021 bottles, do you see what they did there, of the first lot were released. Kuji-san actually hand-numbered those bottles. Bottle number 1 was actually put up for auction, with the proceeds going to tree planting efforts in the local area.
Mac, I think it's time to check out the vodka.
The base of this vodka is sake, made using ginotome rice, which puts it in a growing family of rice vodkas. There are some out there, but it's still pretty unusual. It costs 4,290 yen, including tax, for 700 millilitres. You can also grab a very cute 200 milliliter bottle for 1,485 yen, including tax. The bottle design is quite interesting. Simple, sleek, elegant, modern. This short neck does make pouring quite annoying though.
It's got an amazing backstory, fascinating ingredients, an amazing design, but do the contents of the bottle live up to that? Let's find out.
Spread the love of Japan's craft spirits by sharing these videos with all your drinks-loving friends. Let's check out the colour. Water white, colourless. On the nose. Ooh.
Wow, it's very nice.
That's lovely.
It's like a vanilla aroma.
A lot of vanilla there. A lot of vanilla. And a lot of steamed rice, like that classic kind of junmai sake steamed rice. It's there.
Yes. It's very much about the rice. Very creamy.
It's got this lovely, almost porridge-like character to it, you know? There's like a warmth there that's very comforting.
Yeah, it's very kind of like strong cereal kind of element to it, isn't there? Oh, there's almost a bit of a ginjo aroma there.
Yeah, that classic ginjoka that they say. So when you make ginjo sake from highly polished rice, you're going to get a lot of characteristic lychee, banana, green apple that comes from the ethyl caproate esters that are typically released.
That's right.
I can't believe that we're spending this long on the nose on a vodka.
Yeah. Now you say it. I mean, that's unusual.
Kanpai?
Kanpai.
Kanpai.
Kanpai. Oh, that is lovely.
That is really nice.
It's so soft and smooth, and it's not abrasive or bitter. It's very easy drinking, I think.
Are we sure we poured the vodka?
Yeah.
We did, because that is remarkably soft.
It's almost like a sake, but with a little bit more punch to it.
Yeah, I mean, by a little bit more punch, we mean an extra 25% ABV. But I can see where you're coming from. It's incredible that that real sake base is there. I wondered what would happen. Remember, this has been distilled on top of the fermentation.
That's right.
Of course, to make it a spirit. It's still got that sake character.
It has. Wow, it's incredible how they've kind of brought out the characteristics of the rice in what is a vodka. That's incredible.
I'm reminded of when we went to the brewery/distillery and we tried the 70% distillate from which this is derived.
So, I mean, how does this compare to the 70% one?
Of course, it's lighter because of the dilution, but the structure is still there. You know, the thing that made that 70% so drinkable is evident in this dram here.
It's such a drinkable vodka.
It really is. Do you think there's a lot of umami here from the rice?
I think there's definitely some umami in there from the rice. And is umami something that you get in vodka?
Typically, I don't get that at all.
No. So there we go. That's the selling point of this particular vodka, right?
The finish is very clean, very crisp. It almost has a kire, which is that desirable quality in a sake where you do get that short, sharp, clean finish.
That's right. I think it definitely does have a kind of a kire to it. And perhaps that's what makes this so easy drinking and so Moorish.
I think when you combine that kire with the umami, that's why we keep going back to this.
Absolutely, I agree.
Overall, this is the first vodka I've had that I can describe as calming. Those creamy, lactic, oat notes, they really do warm you up.
They do. It's just such an easy drinking, relaxing vodka.
Onto the gin. Let's check out the colour. Clear water white. On the nose. Ooh. That's some heavy juniper there.
Very heavy juniper, but it's not a medicinal juniper aroma.
Agreed. There's something about the interaction between that lacquer bark and the juniper that is taking away some of the more pharmaceutical qualities of what can be like a juniper heavy gin. Remember, there's only 2 botanicals here. To have that balance, I think, is really nice. Kanpai?
Kanpai. It's different to what I was expecting.
Yeah. Are you getting what I'm getting?
I am, yeah. I'm getting more of the
You're getting that rice, right? Yeah. You're getting that rice from the underlying sake base.
That's right. The sake base is really shining through. And I think the simplicity of the gin allows it to do that.
Yeah, so although it's 2 botanicals, you're actually getting a 3rd level of interaction. You know, not so much with some neutral spirit that's then just been flavored, but with sake, you know, something which has been brewed in order to be a drink in of itself, and then that's gone through a distillation. And that's really interesting.
Absolutely correct. And you've got this umami there as well. Again, right? This maybe is the other element that just makes it different from all the other craft gin out there. It's very clever.
It is fantastic. In fact, speaking of that umami, let's go in for another sip.
Keeps coming back for more. Almost has that kire, like the vodka.
On the finish.
Yes. It's very clean finish, and that's what makes this so easy drinking, I think.
Because your palate's there, ready for the next sip.
That's right. I think this is a very food-friendly gin.
A lot of what Kuji-san tries to do is think about food pairing, even when it comes to his sake, and I think that's actually translated into what he's done with his spirits.
Absolutely. A lot of people were telling Kuji-san, don't make craft gin, don't try and sell craft gin overseas, because it's going to be, too much of a headache. There's a lot of competition out there. You won't be able to compete with the big players. The way he saw it was, actually, there's less work to do in selling a craft gin overseas than there is actually trying to sell a sake.
It reminds me a bit of the story at Kosuke, where they started making whiskey initially as kind of a gateway spirit into the shochu, which they've been making for over 100 years. In that sense, Kuji-san has taken spirits and tried to use them as a gateway into his Nanbu Bijin sake, which again is a harder sell, unfortunately, than say a gin or a vodka.
I think that's fantastic personally, and you do see that a lot in the industry already, but using these other beverages to bring people into the world of sake is a very clever way of approaching the beverage in general, I think.
There's some smokiness there. Something you do get in a lot of gin otome sakes, which I'm getting here.
That's right. And I think this, basically for me, this gin has that Iwate Prefecture flavor profile, very light, very kind of delicate, very simple, and delivering all these lovely rice characteristics. And there's this lovely sweetness at the end as well.
It's really interesting that Kuji-san's only decided to use 2 botanicals. As the craft gin movement has evolved globally over the last decade, you've seen a rise in some cases of the number of botanicals that have been used. He's kept it nice and simple and very representative of Iwate Prefecture.
He has, yeah. I think he's delivered a very, very simple, straightforward gin with a lot of character, a lot of depth, and a lot of complexity.
Head to head, I've got to give it to the vodka.
As do I.
What made it stand out for you, Chris?
I just think the vodka is a little bit more able to kind of let those characteristics of the rice shine through. The botanicals don't get in the way, and I find it the most easy drinking out of the 2.
For me, what made it stand out is just how different it was to pretty much any other vodka which I've tried. Much as I love the spirit, there are a few vodkas that make me keep going back and appreciating it neat in the way that this drink has. So, should you buy them? Of course, there are plenty of gin and vodkas out there that are cheaper than these, but when judged against the roughly 5,000 yen benchmark of craft gin and vodkas in this country, I think these provide excellent value. Now, it goes without saying that gin and vodka are common cocktail ingredients.
And here at Gashue, they've created an entire culinary experience, bringing in different elements of Iwate Prefecture.
In front of us here is a cocktail called Yuki Ajisai, which means snow hydrangea. It can be made with either a Nanbu Bijin gin or vodka base. It also contains Nanbu Bijin umeshu and kakikori, shaved ice, made with tonic water and herbal tea.
The food is made with various ingredients from Iwate Prefecture. vegan certified senbei, rice crackers, tofu with sakekasu, sake leaves, and miso. We also have the gin otome rice croquettes. One has mackerel filling, the other a tomato risotto filling with sakekasu.
These Yuki Ajisai cocktails look absolutely beautiful. Chris has got the one with the vodka base, and I have the one with the gin base. Kanpai.
Kanpai.
That is lovely.
It is. It's got a lovely acidity at the end there.
That is devastatingly good. It's got those fantastic spirits we just tried, combined with kakikori, one of my absolute favorite things in the entire world.
This is a great summer drink, isn't it, actually?
It is absolutely incredible. That herbal tea in the kakikori, the sort of as that ice melts, it's really adding this little nice tang to the finish as well. Kako-san, the owner of Premium Sake Pub Gashiware, has come up with this, and once again, it's a work of genius.
It is, and you know, he's really good at doing these special prefectural promotions.
He's also got this amazing prefectural food, so let's check some of it out.
Let's dig in.
Oh wow, that tofu is fantastic.
That's amazing.
Really nice.
Oh wow, yeah. I think you can taste the gin otome rice in there.
Onto the senbei, which interestingly are vegan certified, as is the gin that we drank.
That's right. So Nanbu Bijin are the first craft gin producer in Japan to actually get vegan certification.
The saltiness and the sesame taste really pair well with this cocktail.
They do indeed. What an amazing culinary experience.
It's really great to get the food and drink of Iwate Prefecture together in this menu, and it's absolutely fantastic.
I feel like I've traveled to Iwate Prefecture.
Nanbu Bijin have done it again.
Looking forward to their next innovation.
Until next time, Kanpai.
Kanpai.